Hello everybody, and welcome back to 7 Days of Black Ops. Now, there's a few things I want to say before we get into this. I mean, I'll start up the game so we aren't just sitting in the menu for too long. But first off, if the graphics look like a little worse than in my previous Cold War videos, it's because when I went to reinstall this game, they actually already had the Black Ops 7 preload going live, which means I didn't have enough storage space on my PS5 to physically hold another Call of Duty because I already have so many installed. So I had to install the PS4 version on my external hard drive, so that's why the graphics may look a little bit different or the load times may be a bit different, so I do apologize about that. But also, let me just say that out of the entire 7 Days of Black Ops series, this is probably the game I was most excited to return to. Now, don't get me wrong, obviously I was really looking forward to Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3 because those are some of my favorite CODs of all time, but Cold War more specifically just because this game genuinely means a lot to me, right? Like, first off, I feel like it's the last classic Call of Duty that we ever got and will probably ever receive. I mean, with Black Ops 7, we are honestly going back in the right direction, and I already do get a lot of Black Ops 2/Black Ops 3 vibes from it, so we'll just kind of see what happens as that comes out. But it was the last Call of Duty we had where tac sprint wasn't forced and wasn't even a feature in the game. You know, a lot of the mechanics and just the engine in general. This engine wasn't the standard Call of Duty engine that we have now. It was more based off of, like, the Black Ops 4 engine, for example, or like one of those engines, which you can just tell just by playing the game. Like, it feels a lot different. This isn't, you know, like the MW19 engine like all the other ones. And Black Ops Cold War always gave me a lot of Black Ops 1 vibes. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's one of those things where Black Ops 1, relatively speaking, especially to modern COD, it's a bit more of a simplistic game. And I feel like Cold War was kind of like that for the like the whole MW19 live service era of Call of Duty, everything after Black Ops 4, where it's still in-depth enough. Hold up, I'm sorry. We're getting later in the Black Ops series now, and the more you go into these games, I don't know why, they just take more and more of my brain power to play. Also, this was the first Black Ops game to have egregious skill-based matchmaking, and I remember during the game's life cycle, it was actually, like, horrendous to play with. But thankfully, now that the game's, like, prime life cycle is over, you don't deal with that as much. Obviously, there's still, like, inklings of that, but it's obviously not like it was in the game's, like, in the middle of its life cycle. Because I remember back when Black Ops Cold War launched, man, it was, like, it was honestly kind of rough for a bit. Like, you felt like you were basically just trading bullets with everybody, and, I don't know, in retrospect, I feel like the skill-based matchmaking wasn't as bad as it would go on to be in, like, MW3 or Black Ops 6 especially. I feel like Black Ops 6 was the strictest SBMM ever got, but I do remember there were some times where it was pretty rough in this game. All that being said, aside from skill-based matchmaking, and when just considering the game itself on its own merits, whether we're talking about the live service support, whether we're talking about, you know, zombies, the weapons in the game, the maps in the multiplayer, the campaign, etc., I know this is one of my spiciest takes yet, and, you know, I mean, I've had a lot of these throughout this little 7 Days of Black Ops series so far, but dang it, man, I couldn't see that guy through the fire. Oh, got a counter spy plane in, nice. All right, here's the spicy take. In my opinion, Black Ops Cold War is an S-tier Call of Duty. I know. I put Cold War up there in the same caliber as, like, Black Ops 3, I'm trying to think of some other ones, like MW2 2009. I just genuinely had that much fun with this game, and you also got to keep in mind, this was the first Call of Duty where from launch to the end of the game, it was my first Call of Duty that I got to create YouTube content on and create it consistently, and, you know, we did the camo grind together on camera, so yeah, and the channel, that was the point where because I started doing YouTube in July of 2020, so that was essentially, what, Season 4, I want to say, of Modern Warfare 2019. I may be wrong about that. It was like Season 4, Season 5, somewhere around there. Maybe even Season 3, but still, it was in that vicinity. So going into Cold War, right, that was the first year that I really got to, you know, make the content that I wanted to make, and the support on the channel was absolutely amazing then, and has obviously only gotten better and better as the years have gone on. And, sorry, hold on, we're actually, like, kind of popping off a little bit this morning. It's literally 7 in the morning right now at the time of recording this. But anyway, so yeah, you know, it was a really cool experience for me, and there's a lot of that love for the early days of my YouTube content creation that kind of get integrated into the game, just because obviously it was such an integral part of this game's life cycle for me, being able to stream that much and make the videos that I did and receive the support that I did on everything. As I always say, obviously this was not my first YouTube channel. My first YouTube channel I actually made back in 2009, and it was just one of those things where I was just like messing around with my cousins on like our DSi, and it was just like stupid videos like that. So it wasn't anything serious. I had some other channels that I made just kind of throughout the years, but again, nothing ever too serious like I did with this one, where now obviously I've been a YouTube partner for almost 3 years. Going into on 2026 January, that'll be 3 years that I've been an official YouTube partner, which is still just mind-boggling to say out loud, and I'm still so honored and grateful to YouTube for giving me that opportunity, but also just being so good to me. And you know, because obviously at this point, obviously I'm not like a massive creator by any means, but I've still been around for, I mean, you gotta think about this. I've been doing daily uploads for half a decade now. Like, I've, you know, obviously I'm not like an OG in terms of I mean, I'm an OG on YouTube in terms of I've just been on the site for a long time, but I haven't, like, with this channel specifically, I'm not necessarily like an OG, but I've still been here for half a decade. I've been doing daily uploads since July 20th of 2020, and I've never missed a single day since then. That is over 5 years, over half a decade of consistent daily uploads and never missing a day, on top of streams, on top of shorts, on top of everything else that I do, on top of the other YouTube channels that I run. So, like, I am just very grateful that through all of that, YouTube and a lot of the other people that I've talked to in the industry, whether that be in video games, content creation, or anything else, have just been so good to me and have been so receptive to me and have treated me well. And likewise, my community, I'm just really thankful to everybody that's you know, just been there for me and treated me well over the years, because obviously I know I'm kind of like I don't want to say like a needle in a haystack, but I really don't know how else to put it, because I'm kind of like an enigma in content creation. I just kind of do whatever I want and say what I want to say, and I don't have a lot of filter in what I say or think, and there's just very little. I'm very transparent in a way that a lot of people, I think, would be afraid to be, just because I'm not afraid to say a lot of things that a lot of people would be. And granted, that does get me in trouble sometimes, but not in a controversial way, but more in just in a way of, like, I'm not afraid to say what I want to say. And none of it's ever for shock value. It's just for the sake of, like, transparency and being like, hey, this is just how it is. And I won't lie, I've been pretty honest with you guys in the fact that 2025, especially in the latter half, like, if I'm just gonna, like, let's just drop the curtains for a minute, right? Like, I always say how when I'm on camera, I give you guys, like, a pretty authentic version of me. Sure, I ham things up sometimes for the sake of content and just kind of keeping things entertaining, but I'm never just outright fake with you guys. It's just sometimes an exaggerated version of me, and sometimes it just kind of needs to be that way, whether it's for the content or maybe just because I'm not fully mentally there. And sometimes when I'm not fully mentally there, that doesn't mean the show can just stop, right? Like, even if I'm having a day, it's sort of like if you work at McDonald's, right? Like, just because you're feeling sad, it doesn't mean, oh, okay, I get to just show that I'm sad and just put in half the work. Like, no, if I'm feeling sad, it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. And the moment what matters is running the show here and keeping the content going and putting out another video for you guys. Business and entertainment first, emotions and mental health nonsense second, you know what I mean? But even still, it has gotten to a point for me a couple of times throughout 2025 where obviously I've honestly just had to turn my mental health into content, because I've just had some really rough days where it's like, you know what, I literally can't just bury this. We're just gonna make a video. And usually when I do it, I never talk about what's wrong with me, because that's like another thing I've talked about lately, where I never actually talk about what's going on with me or my emotions, or I never bother people with that, and I never talk about that stuff, because letter A, that's just kind of how I am. I'm very much so a stereotypical guy. You know, when you think of the stereotypical man, you think, okay, they're strong, they're stoic, they don't really talk about their feelings much, they don't cry, they just kind of like whatever. And for me, that's kind of how it is, or at least how I, you know, put it up in public. Obviously, in my own time when I'm alone, it's like a bit of a different thing, and I'm able to just, you know, exist at that point, emotionally speaking. But yeah, so when it comes to like being around other people, or especially on the internet, I do keep a lot of that stuff buried. Like, I'll be transparent to an extent of like, okay, I haven't been doing the best lately for one reason or another, but usually when I talk about that stuff, it's never in the sense of, oh, pity me. It's always in the sense of like, okay, this is what I'm going through, but then I always flip it in videos to be like, okay, here's how we're gonna work through this, or like, you know, for anybody else going through this stuff. Like, that's that's always how I frame it. It's just like, you guys aren't alone, just know I'm human and I go through it too, and if I can do it, you can do it, and vice versa. Hence part of why I do daily uploads, just so then I have that daily check-in with everybody. And oh wow, look, I went 30 and 15 and I wasn't even trying. I was literally playing with like one hand for half the game. I just like kept putting the controller down and just like throwing my hands in the air. That's cool. But anyway, no, so that's part of why I've always done daily uploads too, because I feel like it's really important for me, just personally speaking, to have that daily check-in with everybody, because I'm the type of guy where when it comes to like, you know, my relationships, and I'm not just talking romantically, I just mean in general, consistency and genuinity, is that a word? Genuineness, whatever, is really important to me. And that's part of like why I do what I do here on the channel, because even if, let's just say we have a filler video, because I've been transparent about that, sometimes there's just filler videos on the channel, and it's not necessarily just, oh, video for video's sake, just to fill a slot on the content schedule. It's more just like, okay, time's a little strapped, there's some other stuff I gotta do, but I still want to put out like a decent quality video for you guys, so, you know, here's just this for tonight till we get back to regular stuff tomorrow. And so yeah, you know, that's just really important to me, and that's part of why I've always done that, because the way I see it, I'm also the type of guy where it's not hard for me to kind of flip like a switch and go from feeling absolutely amazing to feeling like absolutely terrible. And just in case, you know, like, I'm trying to be careful with what I say here. I get a lot of comments, and more specifically DMs, that are really personal from a lot of people, just telling me like what my content is for them and how it helps them. And I'm trying to think of how to word this stuff because obviously it's like kind of hard to put these things into words because I don't want to feel I don't want anybody in specific to feel called out or like I'm, you know, like sharing information or anything like that. But, you know, so I do get really personal DMs sometimes, just like thanking me or just telling me what my content has done for them in very specific ways. And for me, it's part of that motivating factor to where it's like, okay, even if I'm having an off day, I will always show up because I know how important my content is for some people. And even if my channel is still smaller in the grand scheme of things, that doesn't matter to me because even if my channel only had even if my channel had 0 subscribers and each video only got 1 view and it was just 1 dedicated viewer, if my content helps that 1 viewer, that's all I need. Nothing else matters. Anyway, TLDR, like I know that was like a really off the wall conversation, but it's just one that has been on my mind, especially now that we're going back to Cold War, just because this was the start of the channel for me, basically. Like, sure, Modern Warfare 2019 kind of was, you know, kind of going off the back of that, going into Cold War, but really the life cycle of Cold War is when I found, like, my groove with content creation and then just kind of like rode things from there. The reason I brought us to custom games is, do you guys actually realize how many amazing maps were in Black Ops Cold War? And I don't even just mean like original maps, I also mean some of the remakes from like Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1, etc. So just going through like the list here, right? You have a lot of these maps that were in the game at launch, and then you have a lot of these really cool face-off maps like Game Show, and then remember some of these came out during Season 1 like the Pines and U-Bahn, etc. But then Express. I don't know about you guys, but I forgot until yesterday that Express from Black Ops 2 was actually in this game. Then we had Apocalypse, which was a really cool map, which ended up going into Call of Duty Mobile later on, which is really cool, and I wish Call of Duty Mobile would come to console somehow, because it's literally just a free-to-play best of Call of Duty, which is amazing. But then we have Standoff from Black Ops 2, Hijacked from Black Ops 2, Rush from Black Ops 2, Drive-In from Black Ops 1, and it just keeps going. Like Slums, do you guys remember Slums was in Black Ops Cold War? I don't. Like, I forget when that even came to the game, and I don't think I would have played it more than maybe once. WND from Black Ops 1, Jungle from Black Ops 1. Like, there was a lot of genuinely great maps in this game, and I just completely forgot about a lot of this. I'd be curious to see, do you guys think we can find a gun game match in 2025 on Cold War? But yeah, if there's anything else that I can add to what I was talking about, just kind of like one last final thoughts or whatever, it's just thank you. Like, that's really all I can say, just after the years of support, both of me and my content and just everything else around it. And, you know, it's just one of those things where no matter how long I create content for, I always have those, you know, like, I always have those consistent and loyal viewers that I know will always be there. And, you know, it's one of those things where, like, the more and more I create content, there's never... It never seems like there's a ceiling to it in terms of like the amount of people that the content resonates with and the amount of people that enjoy it. Like, it's always just kind of like a steady graph of like, you know, there's always more people coming in, more people finding my stuff, whether that be through YouTube or like other platforms now like TikTok or Instagram or even Facebook. Yes, Grotesque has a Facebook fan base now, which is pretty cool. But genuinely, you know, none of you will ever fully understand just how much it means to me. Unfortunately, we couldn't find a gun game, so we're gonna try to find a TDM. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, I'm still freezing today, man. I got the penguin pajama pants on again, and just like yesterday, you know what, I'm not afraid to show my, usually I don't show my socks because like I don't want people like clipping my feet or whatever, but I got fuzzy pink and yellow socks on today. Dude, these, look, my foot looks fat in these, but the only reason is because I'm literally wearing 2 socks. Like, you can see it right there. There's the one sock, and then there's the second one. Not even gonna lie to y'all, I think Cold War is kind of like dead right now. I mean, Nuketown, we were able to find game. Let's go into Face-Off 6v6. That, you know, that mode was cool. I kind of had a moment where I woke up this morning and I was just looking at my phone and I was like, wait a minute. Black Ops 7 comes out in 2 days. Like, I've been sitting here talking like, oh man, I can't wait for Black, you know, this, that, and the other. And you know, you think it would have clicked when I realized we were at like Black Ops 4 yesterday. But then I got up today and I was like, not tomorrow, but the day after I'll be playing Black Ops 7. I was like, that's pretty cool. Bro, don't tell me Face-Off 6v6 is dead too. Is Nuketown literally the only mode in this game that still has players? That's kind of crazy, man. Remember back in the day, like, Black Ops, I mean, even Black Ops 3 nowadays is still pretty alive. I wonder if the skill-based matchmaking has something to do with it. What if there's more casual players still playing this game, but I literally can't match with them because skill-based matchmaking says no? Skill-based matchmaking is literally killing these older Call of Duties in real time, because if I go back on Black Ops 2 on my PS3 right now, I can still find matches, and I know for a fact Black Ops Cold War has more players than Black Ops 2 on PS3. And it's funny, because the skill-based matchmaking doesn't even work. I literally accidentally went 30 and 15, not even trying in that last game. I gotta see which guns I actually have the camos on. Yeah, do you guys remember the Mastery camos here in Cold War? So we had Dark Ether for zombies, which was essentially Dark Matter, but if I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if Black Ops 6 has just spoiled me or something, but it just doesn't look the same in this game for some reason. I don't know if it's the lighting or what, but it just... I think it might just be the mapping on this weapon too, but it just doesn't look the same. And then we also had DM Ultra. Never mind, I thought I had DM Ultra on this gun. That's actually just Dark Ether again. Yeah, it doesn't look the same. Yeah, then we had DM Ultra here, which, like, if I'm gonna be completely honest, in retrospect, the Mastery camos in this game were kind of I don't know. It's one of those things where it really depends on the maps and the lighting. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just here in Nuketown. For some reason, I remember DM Ultra looking a lot better on some of the other maps. But I don't know. Like, it's sort of all right. And then, yeah, we got Dark Ether here again on the Street Sweeper. Yeah, I really think the modern camos, especially in Black Ops 6, have just spoiled me. Because, like, dude, the Mastery camos in Black Ops 6 were really good. And the ones in Black Ops 7 look really good as well so far, too. MW3 had some crazy Mastery camos, too. Like, Interstellar and Borealis and all that. Dude, those look so good. There's something about this game. I don't know if it's just, like, the sound design, the visual design, or just a myriad of things. It just feels so good to play. Like, it's just really satisfying. Yo, what the heck? I feel weird having so little ammo. Usually in Black Ops 6, I always use extended mag, so running around with guns with only like 30 bullets just feels so wrong. What am I doing, bro? My aim. I gotta put an extended mag back. I gotta put an extended mag back on. I literally can't. Bro, what did I just get blown up by? War Machine? Why? Something like that. Reload. Gotta reload like every 5 seconds. I forgot, there was a lot of really cool weapons in this game too, wasn't it? Yeah, look at that. They're all like the cool... Ah, man, I didn't even get a chance to look at it. Remember they had like the... like the nail gun was in this game. They had the R1 Shadow Hunter, which was like a really cool bow. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, there it is. There is our revisit back to Black Ops Cold War. Like I said at the beginning of this video, you know, this is one of... out of like any game in the 7 Days of Black Ops series, this is the one that I was most looking forward to, just because it's... Like, I don't know, I played this game a lot during its life cycle, but since its life cycle, I haven't played it as much, if that makes sense compared to, like, Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 3, which I go back to play those all the time. So, yeah, it was really cool coming back to this game. And at some point, I really like to come back and do all the Easter eggs and zombies, you know, because the zombies and the Easter eggs and zombies in this game were obviously a lot easier, but it was still, they were still just a lot of fun. I remember the Forsaken boss fight was really cool aesthetically, as well. So maybe at some point I could, maybe do, like, a little stream series or something like that, maybe, later on after I, you know, finish everything up in BO7, like the, camo grinds and everything. But anyways, yeah, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's the revisit back to Black Ops Cold War, and not tomorrow, but the day after, we'll have Black Ops 7, which is pretty awesome. Black Ops 7 launch day, we're going all in on content. I'm looking to either double or triple upload that day. Gonna be a bunch of shorts coming out, probably gonna stream, all that. Just going all in on the grind right off the rip. And, yeah, so tomorrow we'll be revisiting Black Ops 6, and then it'll be time for Black Ops 7. So, yeah, I'll see you guys back here tomorrow for that, and... yeah. But anyways, as always, massive shout out there to the Patrons and channel members to get only in the low ball tier, and any bridge to the my last game, and the big shout out to Dieter, one of us, low cheese girl, Instagram. Thank you guys so much for the little evidence. I love you. Have an amazing day, stupid. I love you all. Peace.